How the fuck are we, everybody? I hope you're all keeping well. It's Thursday, it's the late night agenda. Excuse the bad language at the very start of the stream, but you know what? I'm in a good mood today. I hope you're all in a good mood as well. I hope life is treating you well wherever in the world you are. It's always a pleasure to come on and chat with you guys. Hello, welcome to the Late Night Agenda. My name is Craig, I'm your host, as always. I hope you're all keeping well. Lots of stuff for us to get through. You can see the headline of tonight's stream, but just please stop the lies. Please, media, stop the lies. There's so much nonsense going on over the past week with regards to players being linked to Liverpool. We spoke about Foden last night. Aubameyang today. I mean, it just doesn't stop, ladies and gentlemen. It just doesn't stop. And if you're a lover of a transfer window like I am, if you hang on every word of everybody that has a friend's cousin who's a taxi driver that does work at Melwood, that knows somebody that works in smoke screens, where do you go? Where do you go to start off? How are we? Let me say hello to a few people as well. Il Joey is in. Willow. Want to take a second to say, Willow, I noticed from the chat, mate, that your granddaughter's unwell, so I just want to take a second at the start of the stream to say I hope she gets better soon. And Anthony Cronin as well, mate, congratulations today on your graduation. Heading towards secondary school, mate. Nice one. Hope it goes well for you. Look, how are we all? Is that Mbappe not real? No, mate. It's not real, no. But it is fun, isn't it? It's doing the rounds on social media. If only it was real. Can you imagine the fume if that note was real? My God, how amazing would that be? More bollocks rumours, said Tom Jones. Yeah, it's absolute BS, isn't it? Did somebody really ask who Bertrand is? Please tell me that's a joke. Please tell me it's a joke, mate. My day's been really good, thank you, Robbie. I hope yours has been good as well. Ibrahim, how are you, my friend? Hi, Craig. Hope you and your family are okay. How much do you think Salah is worth? That's difficult, mate, isn't it? I mean, if we're valuing Paul Pogba here at 150 million quid, then where do you put Salah in that bracket? It has to be somewhere between 150 and 2. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to find out either, Ibrahim. Hopefully we never have to find out. Hopefully he just stays here and finishes his career. Right, how are we? How are we all feeling? Lots of stuff. Anybody want any... Tell me where you want to start. We'll go from there. 40 million plus 1 quid for Aubameyang to the Salma's Taste Cave. Look, there's a few little bits and pieces. How about Mbappe? Let's have a little chat about Kylian Mbappe for a minute, shall we? Do you know what? Look, this is FIFA manager mode type stuff. We're talking about Kylian Mbappe, but I've seen a few articles today and you see a few tweets from Jamie Carragher and a few other people just bantering and taking the piss, and you see his video with LeBron James and you see the video where he's talking about playing with Liverpool on FIFA in career mode, and it just gets you thinking, doesn't it? And we spoke about the whole potential link up with Nike. Now we know Liverpool's kit manufacturer deal is up for renewal. This is the last year we'll be with New Balance, and I don't know, ladies and gents, maybe I'm an all romantic here, but I'm putting one and one together and I'm coming up at 74, and will Nike do something? I don't know. I can't but think about this. I can't get it out of my head. Every time I'm thinking about Liverpool signings, I just keep coming back to this whole Mbappe nonsense, and maybe it's my new Fekir, maybe it's my new wish, I don't know, but God, it would be great, wouldn't it? How great would it be? Imagine Nike came on board, and I don't want Nike as a kit manufacturer. I have to put my hands up and say that. New Balance or Adidas, I'm sound. But if Nike brought us Kylian Mbappe, I would hold my hands up and say, alright, Nike, well done. I tip my hat to you guys. How are we all feeling, by the way? Mbappe's never coming to Liverpool. Yeah, Jack, so you seem like a miserable fucker, to be fair, mate. I was reading your comments before the start, and You're thinking Liverpool are going to sign Wan-Bissaka. You were saying that Joe Gomez isn't great. He's only a backup. So my opinion of you, mate, is already a little bit skewed before we even have this little interaction, because how you can class Joe Gomez as average is beyond me, pal. Joe Gomez is every bit as good as Mathijs, if not better, and certainly good enough to be partnering for Van Dijk, mate. So I don't really give a shit about your opinion on anything, Czech side, if I'm being honest, mate, because quite frankly, mate, I don't like your attitude. I don't like the way you've been in the chat. And I do watch the chat sometimes before I start and try and get a feeling for what's going to go on and what people want to chat about. And you just seem like a miserable little fucker, to be fair, mate. You need to cheer up a little bit. Life's not that bad. Mbappe's getting closer, said Callum. Get Mbappe in, get rid of Mignolet, Moreno, Wilson, Klein. That should do it, said Who Knew. Look, Mignolet could move on. Moreno has moved on. Wilson, Klein, yeah, that's something to talk about. Right, what else have we got? Matip is better than Gomez for centre-back, I believe. No, he isn't, mate. He just simply isn't better than Joe Gomez. There's not even a debate around this. He just isn't. It's as simple as that. Matip put in a very good end of season, and it was a pleasure to watch him, I have to say. Proved a lot of people wrong, but he's just not better, mate. Come on. He's not better than Joe Gomez. To be fair, Craig, PSG's kit manufacturer is Nike, so I doubt they'll play a part. Yeah, mate, but we're a bigger club than PSG. That's one thing you're forgetting about here, Adam. We're a bigger club than Paris Saint-Germain. We have more history than Paris Saint-Germain. We've got more supporters around the world than Paris Saint-Germain. We would shift more jerseys than Paris Saint-Germain. So there is that. There is that, mate. I think we could persuade him, said Scotty. And also, Nike lost a bit of an ambassador there with El Hazard. And he's gone to Real Madrid, who have Adidas. Now, look, he still works with Nike, but... And then you've got the possibility... Well, Neymar might be leaving back to Barcelona, so that would still be Nike, in fairness. Just let me dream about Mbappe, for Christ's sake, people. Let me dream. What have we got? Keep Wilson, said Labs Gamer. This is one that's going to rumble on for the entire summer, I think, with regards to Wilson. Yeah, I don't think Wilson's quite going to make it, if I'm being honest. Not at Liverpool. I just don't see it. Now, I could be completely wrong, and I would love to be completely wrong, but I just don't see it. Craig, where will the Super Cup be played? It is being played in Istanbul, mate, in the Vodafone Arena, Besiktas ground, and it is being played on the 14th, I think, of August, something around that mark. What else we got? Who else can we sign as a Mignolet replacement? There's the links to Alex McCarthy, which we keep talking about. We've seen Neil Warnock come out and say that Cardiff have received no bids for Neil Etheridge, which is another player that Liverpool have been linked with. That's about it, really, that I've seen, mate, if I'm being honest. But Mignolet hasn't gone anywhere yet. And did somebody say to me they were listening to an Anfield rap podcast, or maybe it was watching a Redmen video or something, and a journalist or somebody that they had on was speaking, and Mignolet loves the city and might actually stay? Or did I just make that up, or did somebody hear that somewhere? I heard Mbappe's girlfriend loves the shopping in Liverpool. Liverpool won. Who knew? Do you know what I mean? Bargains galore to be had. Give me Fekir, Mbappe and Ligt, and I'm happy with that, said Liam Granby. Kent's better than Wilson. That's an interesting one. What do you expect of Kiana Hoover? A lot. Is it Gearcos, mate? Excuse me if I mispronounced that. A lot. I think Kiana Hoover is going to be very good. He seems to be progressing rather quickly as well. It's great. I love having these young guys coming through of such high quality. Dave Sweeney's in the house. How are we, Dave? Hope you're keeping well. I hope Andrea Onana, which is isn't he the Ajax keeper, Dennis, or am I getting that one wrong? If he is the Ajax keeper, I'd seen links to Manchester United with him. Conor Murray said Mbappe just knows how to play with our heart and his work, and wouldn't it be brilliant though? Yeah, look, it would, mate. It's very unrealistic, but it would be great. It would. Let's have some fun with it. Kiana Hoover is good but a bit young, said Train Smart. Yes, you're right. He is. He's 17? Very young to expect him to come in and make a serious battle for a first team spot just yet. Did you see the Pepe thing? No, Callum, I haven't, mate. Please do let me know what it is though. It's safe to say Klopp did give Mbappe a note in that game, said Jack's Page. It's safe to say Mbappe has a note in his hand, according to that picture. Now, whether Klopp gave it to him or not, is there proof that Klopp handed it to him? I don't know. But look, it's great though, isn't it? It's great that we're on here talking about such mad stuff. What have we got? Will said our ticket allocation for the 40,000 seater stadium for the Super Cup is 5,500. UEFA are a joke. Yes. And yes, mate, you're right on both counts. It is disgraceful. Again, fans not getting a look in. See, I'd like to think that we got 5,500, Chelsea got 5,500, and the rest were going to locals. At least that way you could say, well, you know what? Super Cup's in their city. Brilliant, have at it. But I don't think that'll be the case either. I think they'll probably have the usual fat cat bigwig sponsors. And yeah, it's not great. It isn't great. It needs to change. Dave said it was on the Anfield rap Mignolet to stay. Thank you very much, mate. Is that picture fake or real? What do you think? Do you think it's real, Max? If it's real to you, mate, then it's real. No, it's fake, mate. It's completely fake. But it's been doing the rounds on social media today. It's not a picture that me and Connor made up. We should do a swap meal Mbappe for... Or meal? Meal? Craig's having meal deals and everything now. We should do a swap deal Mbappe for Firmino. I don't want Mbappe. coming in to take Bobby Firmino's place. I love Bobby Firmino. I want both of them, mate. I'm a greedy fucker. What else we got? Klopp give him... What's this? Klopp gave it to him at the end. I spotted it, said Callum. Nice one. Well, we don't know what the note says, mate, but nice one for proving it's real. Boya. I have something for you today, mate. So it seems that, as we know, Anthony's a Leicester City fan. Excuse me, Anthony. I owe you an apology there. A Leicester City fan. And it looks like Harry Maguire could be on his way to Manchester City, which is where I was going with this when I said Manchester City. 65 million. Boya, what do you think of that one? What I was reading on Sky earlier on, it seems like Manchester City might get him, and then they might get Rodri, which would be 135 odd million spent by them. How much would Mbappe cost us? Heaven knows, David, mate. Heaven knows. In excess of 200 million, I think, is probably a conservative estimate. Was David Maddock on Redmen about Mignolet? So you've got two different answers here. I've got the Redmen and I've got the Anfield rap. But look, either way, it doesn't matter what show it was on. Both great shows, as long as it was actually said. I suppose that's the important thing. Do I remember the 2-2 draw against West Brom in 2016? God, mate, I don't remember last week a lot of the time. Sorry. What else we got? God, if Mbappe goes to Liverpool, they will unfortunately win the league. We're going to win the league anyway, league. Do you know what I mean? Having Mbappe is just going to be would be just a little bonus on the top. But we'll do the right thing next year, Lee, and we'll take that league title away from those Manchester City scoundrels for you, pal. We'll do it. We'll bring it home to Liverpool. Klopp has made an offer for Pepe, apparently. Did he do it from Mexico on his holidays? Did you see the lovely picture of him? What was the t-shirt Klopp was wearing, by the way? Somebody sent it to me. I think it was Spanish, but it translated to something funny or something like that. Or it was Hasta Mañana, something or another. I think it was something along those lines. It's a genuine fake pic. There you go, Craig Crosby. That's it. It's a Turkish special, a genuine fake. What have we got? Max said subbed. Brilliant. Thank you, Max. Welcome. Great to have you in, buddy. Looking forward to the coming season, said Dennis. Yes, it can't come quick enough, mate. It can't. All this talk of transfers, not transfers, what might happen, what won't happen. It's all just killing time until the football starts, because that's why we're all here. We all like a transfer, but we're all here because of the football, and we want the football to start back. Craig, have you heard anything about the apparent bid for Pepe? No, but 4 people have said this to me so far in the stream, mate, and I'd love to know, so somebody let me know what's going on, where I've missed it, wherever this is. I do apologise. And do you know what? I did a last sweep before I came on, a little search just to see, and I haven't seen anything on this, if I'm being honest. Max said, by the way, I hope we get Mbappe, but he's too good for Liverpool. Right, let me just circle back around. Max, how could he be too good for the best team in Europe? Can you answer me that one? So he's playing for Paris Saint-Germain. Fair enough. So apparently it's okay for him to be a Paris Saint-Germain, who are never going to win a fucking Champions League, mate. But he's too good to come to a team that are back-to-back Champions League finalists. Do you not see there's something wrong with that statement, mate? It just doesn't add up. We won it 6 times without breaching FFP, said Zeski. Seen it, but we could be getting Mahrez back the other way. Interesting, boy. Interesting. Swap deals are pretty few and far between these days, but yeah, would you take him back, boy? Would you be happy to have Riyad Mahrez back? Be interesting. It really would be. I don't want to be disrespectful to Leicester, but it would be a step back again in Riyad Mahrez's career. As good as Leicester are and the club that are on the up, but you know, he was at Leicester at the peak when they won the Premier League, and now he's gone to Manchester City. He won the Premier League, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it does happen. Lee Luman said hopefully Wan-Bissaka signs for United tomorrow, 55 million or something, Lee. And then there's talk of that other guy from West Ham, 60 million they've been quoted for him. Just think, Mo on the right, Sadio on the left, Bobby in the middle, Bobby in the 10, excuse me, and Mbappe in the 9. Yeah, that would be sexy, Limo, wouldn't it? I really would. Good evening, Mr. Richards. How are you, sir? Hope you're keeping well. I think it said hasta la vista, baby. No, I think it was... Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it said something a little bit more cheeky than that one. Love that chair, Craig. Spoke to Paul about an office swivel one. He can do it for me, said Kev. Yes, Kev is talking about the wonderful chair that the guys from Serendipity Furniture are making for us. Yeah, look, more on this will come over the coming weeks as we get updates on the chair and stuff. If you're on Twitter, you've probably seen us posting about it. I showed you guys a picture of it the other night. I spoke to Paul yesterday from Serendipity Furniture, and as I said to you guys last night, the the love and the passion for what he does just shines through when you speak to the man, and I'm very much looking forward to one, of course, taking delivery of the chair, because it's going to be a centerpiece of what we do going forward. But also, it'd be nice to meet Paul and Beth and speak to him about what he does. So do check them out. Serendipity Furniture. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram. Do check them out and have a look at the amazing quality chairs that they do. And if you go on, you want to have a look and you fancy something, you want to treat yourself to a nice chair, a nice piece of furniture, if you use Anfield Agenda, they'll give you a discount. If you want the Liverpool chair that I'm getting, they'll give you £100 discount by just mentioning Anfield Agenda. So either way, keep an eye on it, because I cannot wait. We're going to do a proper shoot for it as well. We're laying out the red carpet, and rightly so, for the guys at Serendipity Furniture, because they are going to bring that chair personally over to Ireland to deliver it to us, and we're going to have a nice photo shoot and that ready for the day. So I'm really looking forward to it. What else we got? Pepe is Klopp's main target, apparently. Who says this though? Do you know what I mean? I'd love it to be right. Not because I know anything about him, but because it would mean that there's something coming out and we all want a bit of transfer news. But I don't know. Param said, is Bruno Fernandes a no-go for us? It seems from the... How do I phrase this? I don't know if it's a no-go, but some Manchester United fans that I chat with and follow on social media are pretty confident that he'd go to Manchester United. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. It also doesn't mean that we're interested in him, because we genuinely don't know if we're interested in Bruno Fernandes. We think so. It's been linked in the media, but we've spoken about some of the ridiculous stories in the media this week. I mean, yesterday we spoke about Phil Foden being linked. Was it Don Ballon linked Phil Foden with a move to Liverpool for £53 million? I mean, that's what, because he scored the night before? And now today we're sitting here talking about a link to Aubameyang. He's 30 years of age, a player that if Klopp really wanted, could have got before he went to Arsenal. Done really well at Arsenal, banging in the goals. Nothing but respect for Aubameyang, great player. But we're not going to sign him. We're not going to go and sign him now. It's just more nonsense in the media. The chair is magic, said Dodge. Thank you, mate. It's class. I'm so happy about it. Man City are replacing one slab head with another. They must have an extra special hole size in the jersey that they need to get a big noggin through, mate, and that's perhaps why. I seen Bon Jovi are playing at Anfield tonight, and I seen a Manchester City fan post up to say, at Bon Jovi at Anfield tonight, what a dump this ground is. And I just had to quickly remind the motherfucker that at least we own our fucking ground. Do you know what I mean? At least our ground wasn't a handout given to us. So if you're going to slag off Anfield, just remember that Liverpool owned the fucking place, unlike the Etihad. Craig Mbappe and Firmino would be like a new strike force. Imagine how solid it would be. We could hope. We can hope, Connor, mate. We really can. Right, let's get on to some actual gossip. Now, if anybody is more in the Pepe story, by the way, I'd love you to put it in the chat. Please do keep that coming. Hi, mate. Did your missus hit you with a saucepan? No. I wish it was that. I wish I could blame somebody else, Andrew, but it was my own stupidity. I was in the bathroom yesterday picking up an empty toilet roll, you know, the cardboardy part, and I raised my head up and just clocked it off the bathroom cabinet, mate. It was completely my own stupidity. I wish I could blame somebody else. Right, so Ryan Bertrand, that's the story. That's the one we're going to start off tonight's show with, the actual transfer rumours. He's been linked today to Liverpool in a £10 million replacement for Alberto Moreno. Now, I thought about this in a couple of ways, and let me try and break it down and give you my thoughts on it first. So one, £10 million seems to be the figure that's been mentioned as a potential deal for Ryan Bertrand. Now, I suppose there is two sides to this. One is that he's experienced and he could definitely come in and do a job at left back. But the second part is kind of where I lie on this one, and it's that I think we'd be better going out and buying a young player and letting him learn and work with Andrew Robertson on the training ground to develop his game and then bring him to an elite level. Target was somebody we spoke about yesterday, Matt Target of Southampton. That makes sense. Of course, we have Adam Lewis as well coming through. He could be the answer for all we know. But for me, a 29-year-old Ryan Bertrand, I can understand why somebody would say, look, yes, Craig, he could do a job. He could come in and he could fill in. And he could. I don't know, though. For me, I would rather go the younger guy route. Yeah, it's just my opinion, but this is why I wanted to start off tonight's show really with this, because I wanted to get your opinion on this. Do you think that would be a clever move? Do you think that it would be better to go the young person route, or do you think that we actually have Adam Lewis there and he's sound? Right, let's get into your comments. Apparently Liverpool are interested in Christian Eriksen. We'll get on to that one a little bit later on, mate. I do have that in my notes, and I do have a little bit to say on that one as well. Heard Bayern Munich are out of the Timo Werner race. Actually, kind of gone the opposite way, Param. The odds of Bayern Munich signing Timo Werner have fallen dramatically. The other day we spoke about a 10-1 shot. I think it's into 5-2 now or something like that. So either they know something or a lot of money has gone on Werner going to Bayern Munich. But they seem to be willing to play the long game. There was a few articles doing the round saying that Liverpool aren't going to sign Werner because of the belief that they have in Ryan Brewster. So if that's the case, then that's great. Boya said Bertrand is quality. He is quality, but he would have been quality for us maybe 3 years ago, mate. I don't know. As I said, I can understand both sides of people's thought process on this. For me, I would just rather go the younger player route. Let it be Adam Lewis at Tom Jones. Bertrand's a good backup for Robertson. I can see a scenario where Klopp makes him a better player, said Raymond Desks. Philip, I'll try this one again. Philip Max said FIFA Gaming. Yes, he's the Augsburg guy. Yes, there is him. And then there is that other guy that we spoke about last night, Firpo, from Real Betis. And his name is being linked again. I watched a little bit of him actually playing for the Spanish under-21s. He looks quite lively. Oftentimes difficult to judge a player while they're on international duty, but he looks decent, Firpo. And I like saying his name. Firpo is fun to say. I think we'll get young people. Bertrand would... What's this? Sorry. I think we have young people. Bertrand would be good or give good depth, said Liz. Bertrand should play for a club where he's the main option, maybe Arsenal, said Adam Phillip. Yeah, Arsenal have been linked with left back. They've been linked with Tierney as well from Celtic. Breadsticks said, we've been linked with a move for Junior Firpo, the Real Betis. Going as far as say Liverpool are ready to make a bid. He's a younger left back. Yes, and somebody who would make sense to me. Not going to claim that I know much about him. Actually, I hadn't even heard of the kid until 2 days ago. But having seen a little bit of him, I could see where the attraction is there. John Cable is in. How are you, John? Just got the notification that you were live, even though I clicked on set reminder, but it says you started 18 minutes ago. It's a YouTube issue, buddy, and I wish it would get resolved. You're not the first, and you probably won't be the last who've said it to us. Yeah. Imran, where are you, mate? Imran Khan. I'm going to give you back your spanner, mate. I meant to do this the other night. Because the only reason your spanner was taken away, Imran, is because I didn't see you for a while and I was just doing a bit of housekeeping. But other than that, mate, yeah, no problem. I said this to Brian actually in a conversation yesterday. I just wanted to do that the other day, but I don't know if something kicked off or something. But it's back there with you now, pal. Do you think Chelsea's the right move for Lampard? It's a difficult one for him to turn down, isn't it? If you're in his position, it's difficult. I mean, he's doing a decent job at Derby. Didn't get them promoted, but you know it's tough to get out of the Championship. In all fairness, yeah, it'd be very difficult for him to turn down. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I don't know how I feel about it. If I'm being really honest, where the club is right now, potential transfer ban or what looks like a transfer ban, losing Eden Hazard. They do have Pulisic coming in. It's a difficult one. It's difficult. From Lampard's point of view, I mean, yeah, you can understand why he'd take it. Why is Aubameyang on the title, on the thumbnail? Because he's been linked, mate. Have a little Google. I think it was the Star, maybe. Linked us to a £30 million move for Aubameyang. That's why. It's just ridiculous. That's the whole point of the thumbnail tonight, mate, is just stop the lies. Stop the bullshit transfer rumours. They're just not going to happen. Like Foden, it's just, there's no real aspect to this whatsoever. It's just somebody taking the piss. Another young left back Scotsman who could learn with Robbo, said LFC J06. I wouldn't mind having Bertrand, said Brian, but he would be a priority or anything. Just a good quality player. Yeah, again, I can understand it. I absolutely understand why somebody would want them. I don't know, maybe I've been a little bit spoiled by looking at what's happened with Robbo and Trent and just thinking that younger is the way to go with regards to a backup fullback. It's Fran said Mbappe picked Liverpool in FIFA, which everyone's gone mad over. Yeah, it's just a bit of fun though, Fran. But he is coming. Nailed on. I mean, I've ordered the shirt, everything. Mbappe 7. It's done. Job done. Bertrand will be too much for a backup. 10 million, apparently, in our boy Kareem, which is kind of probably what we'd get. Actually, we'll probably get more than that for Kleiny. I think 15 million's the figure around Nathaniel Klein. There you go, lad. A thumbs up before I forget, said UK lad. Thank you, mate. I do appreciate a nice early thumbs up. So if anybody else wants to join UK lad, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Right, let's move on to Christian Eriksen, because I know you guys had mentioned him in the chat as well. Let me just get to my notes. I have some stuff from Crosby Red that I meant to read out last night as well, so I do apologise, Crosby Red. I will get to that in a few minutes. Where was the stuff about Christian Eriksen? Yes, so Jamie O'Hara has urged Liverpool to make a move for Spurs playmaker Christian Eriksen this summer. As we all know, Christian Eriksen's entering the final deal or year of his deal at Spurs, and Daniel Levy would be very, very tough to negotiate with. But it seems Christian Eriksen does probably want to leave Spurs this summer. He had been touted around Real Madrid, but with the money they're spending at the minute and the players they've already got in and the one or two bits they still want to do, I don't know if that's realistic for them. But I tell you what, in a heartbeat, I would have Christian Eriksen at Liverpool. The value, I'd seen somebody mention 130 million. Look, that's just not realistic. Even in Daniel Levy's crazy, brilliant mind, it's not possible. You're not going to pay that much for him. Not with 1 year left on his deal. I would say 60, 65 I would happily pay if I was Liverpool for Christian Eriksen. He's quality to me. He's absolutely quality. I would happily have him at Liverpool. What do you guys think? Train Tomorrow said Eriksen would be a real steal. Dutch media also named Depay with United and Liverpool once again. Yeah, he's not coming to Liverpool, mate. I really don't see him coming to Liverpool. Just because of the articles I'd read about him from people that know French football, saying that he likes to be the centre of attention. He likes everything to be set up to get the best out of him, and I just don't think he's going to get pampered like that at Liverpool. Ajax have put a 30 million price tag on Ziyech. Yep, we did speak about that one the other day as well. Scotty, may I ask who's speaking of me? You know where, Scotty, don't do this, mate. I already spoke to you about the spanner. I think it was an email I'd sent you about it. So, no, Scotty, I'm not getting into it, mate. Sorry. You had your email. We did correspond about it. Sorry. July is when transfers will kick off for Liverpool with a bang, said the White Warrior. Awfully British said, great stream, Craig. Thank you very much for that. By the way, did you hear Klopp said he wanted to spend big money to keep up with his rivals this transfer window? I thought that was... I did see it mentioned today, Awfully British, but I thought it was an older quote from maybe last summer or something, where he was talking about having to spend money. I hope it's real. I'd fucking love it to be real. But no, I didn't see it. If it is real though, great. Bertrand is a stopgap for Lewis' development. I can understand that, Tonic. Yep, there is sense to that as well. Craig, worse than the pain suffered when you knocked your head is having to explain to everybody. I once got woken suddenly by an alarm and ran into a bedroom wall. I think we've all had those moments, K-Town Muslim, mate. Those crazy ass moments in our life where we've just done stupid shit. We need 3 players. We can't stand still, said ADX LFC. That's a corker on your head, mate. Ouch. Yeah, thanks. It's actually not too bad, honestly. I had a headache yesterday, but other than that, it's not too bad. It's healing up quite well, to be fair. Scotty said, good player. We'd need to change our system. If you list our midfielders, Eriksen would be high, but he wouldn't be top, in my opinion. I think it's more the style of midfielder, Craig. I get where you're coming from. So what have we got? Fabinho, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana, Henderson, Milner. Grujic who I have a little bit on as well to talk about in a while. Have I missed that? Gini Wijnaldum. Have I missed anybody else there? Obviously Curtis Jones, but I don't think I've left somebody else. Anyway, you're right. It's a long list, Craig. But Eriksen would give us another option. O-Dog said, I'd take Eriksen. He'd complete our midfield. Junior Firpo of Real Betis had been linked as a left backup, which is a very good link, Lunatic. As I said, I've seen a tiny bit of him playing for the Spanish under-21s, but I liked the few minutes I did get to see of him. Now, obviously, I can't give an opinion on watching a couple of minutes for the Spanish under-21s, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Those type of links to me make more sense than going for Ryan Bertrand. Although, as I said earlier on, I could understand people's argument for Bertrand. According to the Daily Express, Jean-Michel Aulas, the Lyon president, says that Nabil Fekir does want to leave this summer. Yeah, they also went on to say that there's an agreement with Fekir that he can leave this summer. Pat Moynihan said Eriksen's a fine player. Yeah, we first hand got to see him with Denmark destroy Ireland. He is quality, and Adam Parks thinks the same. Train Tomorrow said, we have Robbo for Lewis development, don't really need Bertrand, but injuries are difficult. Yep, This is one of those ones where there probably is no right or wrong answer on the Ryan Bertrand thing. It's just probably a matter of opinion. Yeah, it's tough. What is the picture on the right? It is Jurgen Klopp and Kylian Mbappe after the game against PSG, and Kylian Mbappe has a note in his hand. And then there was a picture doing around on social media today where somebody just taking the piss, wrote out a piece of paper that said, "Dear Kylian, remember to hand in a transfer request in the summer. Lots of love, Jurgen XXX." So yeah, it's just a bit of fun. Origi is staying at Liverpool for the season. I believe so, Mark, yeah. And it's good news. I mean, if he goes and leaves next summer on a free, so be it. Let's wait and see. I think the club will offer him a new deal. Now, whether Origi takes the new deal or not, that's up to him. I hope he does. Imagine. Sorry, I'm laughing. Doug the same time deleted a comment, and rightly so, but I was just reading the deleted comment and it makes me laugh. I mean, imagine coming in to a Liverpool chat, right? And this is what you write. This is from Hums, by the way, if you're still watching me. Liverpool will have a crap season next season. Good man. I mean, good man. You've obviously you've probably got the old scientific calculator out there, have you? Bit of Pythagoras' theorem. Yeah, okay, mate. You're not bitter at all. You can clearly see that. You're obviously not bitter at all about Liverpool being on the up and up and winning the Champions League. But yeah, we'll have a crap season. Oh, God, mate. If only life was as simple as you're making it out to be. Tom Jones said, Maddison will be better, I think, than Eriksen. Created more key passes than Messi last season. Don't get me wrong, mate. I would happily have a little bit of James Maddison at Liverpool. But Eriksen is gettable. Now, whether Maddison is gettable as in whether Leicester City would want to move him on yet, that's a whole other conversation. But Daniel Levy knows he's in a position where Eriksen leaves this summer, signs a new deal, or leaves for free next summer. So there's three options there. It's not looking like he's going to sign a new deal at Spurs. So it's one or the other. And being a shrewd operator like Daniel Levy is, he's not going to let Christian Eriksen leave on a free. That would just be madness. The White Warrior said, Donny van de Beek, the Ajax, he's your man, Craig. Yeah, we spoke about him the other day. Again, somebody who was linked to Liverpool in the media. 22 years of age, a box-to-box midfielder. He's played in the 8 and in the 10 a little bit this season. Well, I say 8 and 10, I mean, he's played at the anchor of midfield, as in the centre. He's played a little bit further forward as well. Yeah, he would be a good long-term maybe successor to Jordan Henderson, James Milner, and I can absolutely understand those links as well. I doubt Levy would let you sign him unless you pay out your arse, said Alan Phillip. He's a very tough man to negotiate with, Daniel Levy, by the looks of it. If you could only sign one player this window, who would you sign? If we're being unrealistic, Kylian Mbappe, of course. If we're being realistic, call me an old romantic, mate, but I still want Fekir. I still want Fekir. Craig, if you want to laugh, I can tell you at the time you ended up with a couple of stitches. Oh, you ended up with a couple of stitches. I'm always up for a laugh, Willow. I mean, can you see... I don't know if you can see... Which side is it on? This side. Can you guys see like a... Here? On my head, there's like a plus. That came because when I was younger, I think I would have to have been younger than 6 because I was still living in my older house. So let's say I was 4 or 5. I had a little trike thing and my mum wouldn't bring it down the stairs, so me being the genius that I am tried to cycle it down the stairs and split my head open. So yeah, I've a long history of banging my head, so maybe there's something to that one. But yes, I'd love a laugh, Willow, please do. We don't need midfielders, in my opinion. I think we should get Tierney as a Robertson backup, said Tyler Foster. I don't think Tierney will play backup either, and Lil Joey said the same, no chance he'll come in and play backup. Nice sweatshirt, Craig. Might have to get it with myself. Is it on the LFC website? It is. It's part of the new training range this season, mate. Let me lean back. You can see the AXA. Yeah, it's part of the new training kit. It is £50, I think, in the UK, if memory serves me correct. But yeah, it is really nice. Really comfortable as well. So you think we stand a better chance of winning the Premier League? United and Arsenal improve their squad, maybe take some points off City? Yes, I actually do, mate. We spoke about this in I can't remember what show a while ago. But yeah, other teams need to step up and other teams need to start taking points off City. You don't have to be in a position again where the title might come down to just the 2 head-to-head games between Liverpool and City, which probably is what happened this season. Look, of course, you can point to the United game, you can point to the Everton game. I know that City dropped points from both sides, but overall, the sway was there. A draw at Anfield and we lost at the Etihad. a point that the Etihad would have changed things around in our favour. So yeah, it is sometimes that close, and other teams are going to have to step up this season and not just roll over and have their bellies tickled when they play Manchester City. Phil, how are you, mate? Said you've just joined. What's the latest? Nothing much, mate. I'm still waiting for somebody to fill me in more on these Pepe rumours that were there to start at the stream, where they came from. Craig, think the bump in the head must have made you all soft on the trolls. What's up? I'm just enjoying life at the minute, Cape Town Muslim. I'm happy. As I said, I've been seeing a new psychologist. I'm happy. Life's good. And I'm enjoying it. So maybe I'm being a little bit too soft on people. But you know what, mate? When the games come back and the trolls come in, then I'll have my little say. But I'm just enjoying life, mate. Everything's good. Channel's going really well. Lots of companies knocking on the door looking to do little bits and pieces with us, which is great. It's actually at a point where we're having to say no to some people. And I never like to say no, but it's good. I'm very, very what's the word I'm looking for? I could say fucking happy, like, but I'm just very content at the minute, and I'm feeling very serene, which is very unusual for me. Apparently, we're ready to trigger Firpo's release clause. I just like saying Firpo, Epic Amp. Can we say more? Firpo, please. How much is this release clause, though? I don't know what it is. I've got a feeling we won't spend big this season, said David Newell. I hope I'm wrong, because we can't be standing still. We always need to strengthen. I'm with you on the second part, mate. We do need to strengthen. You cannot be standing still. If anyone, what's this? I think anyone we sign, Klopp will make into a world-class player. Look at Kagawa and Sahin. They were world-class under Klopp. And yes, and let's not forget as well what he did with Lewandowski, mate, as well. Another one. You could go on and keep naming things. But you're spot on, mate. Good comment. Just wait for Liverpool Echo to come out and say we've no interest in Firpo. Yeah, I've had a few people say something similar today, mate. I don't know what to make of that at times. I don't know if they're just trying to manage expectations or if they're being purposely dampening down things, because it's not in their interest to just keep saying no, nothing's happening, because they need to get clicks as well. So I don't know. Give Levy a look at the Champions League trophy in exchange for Christian Eriksen, said Adam Parks. You're probably still a little bit upset about that, to be fair. That was Spurs' big opportunity, that Champions League final. Yeah, but look, they did incredibly well to get there, so I'm not going to go off and want to belittle Spurs. They don't deserve to be belittled. They're a good club, good new stadium, good young manager, good chairman running it. Yeah, I actually have a lot of respect for Spurs. So you didn't think of carrying it or pushing it down the stairs? I don't think I was able to. I think that was the problem, Jack. Whatever it was too heavy or too awkward for me to carry, so I went full on Evel Knievel, except completely fucked it up. Seems like the Mancs are getting cocky just because they're signing Wan-Bissaka, and they signed that James kid, didn't they, from Swansea, and they're looking at that West Ham centre-back, because it looks like they've lost out to Manchester City in the race for Slabhead from Leicester City. What's his name? Harry Maguire. Yes, him, Harry Maguire. Sorry, I kept thinking of Harry Wilson, but I was like, no, it's Harry Maguire. Crosby Red, I have your notes from yesterday that you sent me. Sorry, I forgot about them yesterday. That's completely my fault. When I got off the stream and I looked down, I said, oh my goodness, I forgot what you sent me. So I do apologise about that one. Craig was shot in the head by a United fan. Nah, mate, they'd miss. Do you know what I mean? They'd just miss. Eriksen would have a Champions League trophy if he pulled his finger out in the final, said Adam Phillip. Right, what's with trikes? My daughter ran me over with hers and fell and banged my head and ended up with 2 stitches. There, yeah, mine was something similar. As I said, I cycled down the stairs, split my head open, but then not a week or two later, I was in my auntie's house and she had a long hallway and she had one of those like see-through runner mats. I think it's a plastic thing to protect the carpet or something, and I tripped over that and whacked my head on the banister and reopened the same wound. And my parents were always saying to me, like, when they brought me back to the hospital, that the doctors were almost looking at them as in, like, is he really that accidental or accident prone, or is there something more to this? And yeah, no, I promise you, it was just me, completely accident prone, just being a fool. What happened to Marco Grujic? I will get on to him, Mark Elliott. I do have some news on Marco Grujic as well, which I'll get to in a few minutes. Where do you think Rafa will go to? Somewhere where he's appreciated is most important, mate. After all he's done for Newcastle, if the new owners come in and boot him out, it is just bad form. Or maybe Rafa's just had enough as well. I think ideally he'd like to stay in the Premier League because he loves England, he loves Liverpool. There was an offer of China, £11 million a year, I think, wage from to manage in China. Maybe he fancies that as a retirement fund, I don't know. Well, that's good. You're enjoying life, said Anthony Cronin. Yeah, it's taken a long time, mate. A very long time to get to this position. A long time, a lot of hard work. But most importantly, it's taken a lot of hours with you guys. My life started to get a lot better. And it's nothing to do with the channel being successful. I put it down to being on here, chatting to you guys. Just the interaction, the fun, the banter, the enjoyment. I think it just lifts my spirits. And then I come off here and I'm happier. And I go down and chat with my family. And yeah, it's just a knock-on effect, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Gonads, right. Gonads has mentioned Grujic as well, so we might as well move on to that story. Gonads has said that Grujic being lined up for another loan. Now, we spoke about this a while back, and I did say to you guys that from what I'd read, the idea was apparently to send Marco Grujic back out on loan, but to a club that's going to be playing in European football this season. By European football, I mean like Champions League, Europa League. And that seems to be the story that's starting to come out over the last 24 hours or so. That's the plan. The plan is to send him back out on loan to a club playing in Europe. So perfect for me. I don't want him sold. I think he's got real potential, like real potential. Who the fuck is Firpo? Asks Connor. Real Betis left back, mate, currently at the under-21 European Championships with Spain. Not going to pretend I knew anything about him 48 hours ago because I didn't. Yeah, there we go. I spoke about Grujic, but yeah, on Grujic, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Do we think there's a future for Marco Grujic? Would you like him to be at Liverpool? I think that what we're doing, or what we're rumoured to be doing, is the perfect thing. Another season on loan. He did sign a new contract before he went out on loan to Hertha Berlin last year, so he does have some time to run on his Liverpool deal. So another year's loan for him. Maybe bring him in then as an understudy or to compete with Fabinho for that 6. Makes sense to me. Would be funny to snap Pepe from United as well. Have they been linked with Pepe? Nicolas Pepe? Roy? Honestly, I haven't seen much with United and him. Stop with the softness, not normal, said Mark Hendley. There's nobody to be angry at, Mark. Do you know what I mean? If there were trolls in here, or if we were doing a watch along and trolls are in, I'd probably have a pop. But, you guys are nice people, mate, so I'm trying to just keep it casual. Bought myself the jacket version of your jumper, Craig. Because I seen you in it and thought it looks the Mutts Nuts. I like that, the Mutts Nuts. I'd say Dog's Bollocks, but you're going for the PG version. Had a look online, but went for the jacket instead. I had the same quandary, David. Connor was in the LFC store. Connor actually picked this up for me. He was up in Dublin, and he just happened to be in the shopping centre where the Liverpool store was. And I said, any chance you would nip in there, buddy, and have a look for me for something? And I was the same as you. I was, will I go for the zip version or will I go for the non one? And I bought a new zip top the week before, so I just went for this one. But they are nice, to be fair, David. I'm glad you got it, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Firpo does sound like a euphemism. Yeah, it does. It's a good shout, looks. It really does. We won't say a euphemism what for, but yes, it does. Klopp has apparently said he'll spend big, said Scotty. You're not the first person, buddy, to say this tonight, and I'm not going to lie, it makes me feel good hearing that. Good evening, Bernadette Farrell. How are you? Saying hello to everybody. Mr. Dead Inside but still horny. You've made the transition over, mate. How are you? Maybe you've been on here all the time. I recognise the name, obviously, from our little interactions on Twitter, mate, and I do enjoy them. You're good fun. What did you miss? Not much. We're just calling out some of the bullshit transfer rumours, mate. The stuff about Aubameyang, the stuff about Foden, and to an extent the stuff about Mbappe, although we all want that to be true, if we're being honest. What else we got? Absolutely zero transfer news. As we know, nature's abhors a vacuum. It's just about 100% bullshit fest, Brian Morrissey. It is. That's kind of where we are. I really struggled today. I was going through the media and I was thinking, yeah, I can't. There's nothing for me. There's nothing for me to come on tonight and just say this is happening or this might be happening, because it's very quiet. There's the stuff around Christian Eriksen with Jamie O'Hara I spoke about. Then last night, Craig Burley, ex-Chelsea player on ESPN, said that he'd like Liverpool to go in for Antoine Griezmann or Griezmann. I'm not sure what way you're supposed to pronounce that. Griezmann sounds a bit more Latino or something. So yeah, even though he's French. What do you think, Griezmann? For me, nah. But Ferno, how are you, buddy? Seems like a while. Hope you're keeping well. Pierce at the Echo. has very good contacts within Liverpool. He does. Of course he does, yeah. And so does Mel Reddy, but everything's been kept on the hush-hush these days, mate. Things are on the DL. What else we got? Craig, did you see Klopp's recent quote? Everyone's splashing the cash, so we have to do the same. Is that not an old quote? Am I completely wrong on this, or is that an old quote? My mate Timo says whoever Klopp signs will be a surprise, not only to us but to the club they get him from will be surprised. They're such a good player and didn't know about it. 6 times, Ross, love it, mate. Klopp's assistant Rafa, imagine it. Yeah, Rafa's too good to be an assistant to anybody, to be fair. I do love Rafael Benitez. Gonad said Jurgen rates Grujic, his first signing, think he wants him to develop and not be so rash in the tackle. Understand that point as well. I just really do think there is a player in there. Are the Dybala to United rumours true? I've not seen them. Vallejo, I couldn't give you an answer. Why would he go there though, to be fair? Do you think Neymar will go back to Barcelona? Yes, I do think that will happen. I genuinely do think that will happen. I started supporting Liverpool after spending a few hours in a Spanish swimming pool with Emily Hughes, Ray Clements during a summer holiday back in 1976. That is one of the best reasons I've ever heard A320 pilot to start supporting the Reds. That is a beautiful story, mate. Thank you for sharing it. I'm jealous as fuck, I'm not going to lie. El Crazy Horse, Ray Clements as well. Nice holiday that was, mate. Well in. LFC fan said he'd prefer Insigne to Griezmann. I'd pass on both, to be fair, mate, but I probably would go with you on that one. I just don't like Antoine Griezmann, but I'll probably side with Insigne over Griezmann as well. Craig, would you swap Mbappe for Salah? This must be the 10th time in the past week I've been asked this, and I feel like such an asshole saying this, Mark, but I would. He's probably the only player in the world I'd swap Mo Salah for. That's how highly I rate Kylian Mbappe. And we spoke about this on a few streams, and it was kind of a 50-50 split down the middle with people. Some people were like, yeah, some people were like, no, keep Mo, love Mo. And some people just don't rate Mbappe as highly as others as well. What's the Mbappe news? There is no news. No news from Mbappe, mate. Sorry. I don't remember. Did we say there was? Like, I'm not being a smart arse. I don't think we did say there was. If we ain't going for Werner, then we'll go for Griezmann to train tomorrow. Makes sense to that as well. Yeah, Werner for me will be a better option than Griezmann as well. Mbappe Monday, said Fernando. Oh mate, we're running out of days of the week, aren't we? Mbappe Monday. If we wanted to just make up that, we could go Tielemans Tuesday, Werner Wednesday, Fekir Friday. Who have we got for Thursday? Have we got somebody for Thursday, or have we missed out on Thursday? Don't watch the live stream so much, but love the VODs, said Alban. Thank you, mate. There's another one coming up really soon. VODs, I like that. I like what you've done there, because I was always struggling to think of what we call the podcast or the video podcasts. But thank you, mate. And we recorded one last night, so hopefully going to have that out really soon, Alban, mate. And I hope you'll enjoy it as well. It was myself, Cash, and Tom, and it was always a pleasure to catch up with people. We're going to do more of them, mate. At least one a week, I'd say, as the season goes on. So I hope you continue to enjoy them, and thank you so much for the comment. I can understand you don't watch the live streams because they are an hour 45 minutes. I know it's not for everybody, which is why we're trying to mix up the content a little bit and put out the shorter stuff as well. I've complete faith in Klopp over transfers, said LFC fan. I think one of the big six will make a notable signing. The others likely follow quickly with theirs, said Graham Holmes. I read today that we're going to spend big. I know lots of people are coming in and saying this. You've all got me very excited on this. Timo Thursday works better, said Connor. Yeah, there's Timo Thursday. We could have that one as well. Then what do we do for Tuesday, mate? We're still, do you know what I mean? We still need a Tuesday. Furbo Thursday. We could go with that looks. I mean, yeah, why not? Furbo Thursday. If we're using the name Furbo, we might as well start renaming 8 days of the week as well. Why not? Anyone get membership pack? It's only okay, said Pat Moynihan. I looked at it, Pat, and there's 2 versions this year, isn't there, mate? There's the full-on membership pack, and then there's the membership light pack, which just kind of gives you the benefits without any of the frills of the little bits and pieces that you get with it. So yeah, I'm still on the fence about what to do about it, but I'd probably go for the membership light, to be honest. Mo said he doesn't want to leave this season, which I remember reading, Jay. Alright, which is great news. This is exactly what we want to hear. I don't think we're going to lose any of the front three this season. I really don't. Dave Sweeney said VODs thought that was Virgin Mod. No, mate. It's but it is fun. VOD. I like it. Maybe VODs are a word, or vodcasts are a word already. I don't know. I'm too old for this. BT Sport prices are going up again to Gonads. Did you guys see? Have we any WWE fans, by the way, that are UK based? Because BT have announced today that from 2020 they will be the home of the WWE for British and Irish broadcasters. So yeah, Sky losing more stuff. So if you've got Sky now, you've got a split Premier League package. You've lost La Liga, no Champions League, no Europa League, no FA Cup. A lot of pay-per-view boxing now. Then you're losing the wrestling. But it's alright, you got netball though. So it's all good. Prices are going up and they're giving us netball. Exactly what we wanted. Netball and NFL and NBA and, I don't know, esports and everything else that they can try and cram in to just make us feel better about the fact that we're paying more for less. And yeah, it's not great. It's not great at all, to be fair. I think you should do a boxing show, said Jason. I'd love one. I would absolutely love one. But you know what, Jason? I think more I'd love to be part of a show that already exists. So I'd love to be a guest every so often on a boxing podcast or something, because it is, outside of Liverpool and football, it's my next biggest passion sport-wise, mate. I love boxing. I wouldn't be surprised if we signed somebody major just after the first pre-season game against Tranmere, said Phil. Yeah, I mean, something's got to happen. Something's going to happen soon, isn't it? I mean, Kloppo's on his jolly bobs. The players, some of them are in international duty, the AFCON as well, Copa America, under 21 Euros. And let's not forget, ourselves, Spurs, Chelsea and Arsenal, our seasons went 3 weeks later than the other 16 clubs in the Premier League. So we've got to take that into account here as well. Not that we're playing catch up, but we're a little bit behind in our pre-season and in the lads being on holidays and stuff. Dean Peary said, finally made it to the live show. Lovely to have you, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. Fed up of hearing Liverpool fans bleating on about Mbappe now. It's getting very boring. He won't come due to high wages. Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice, Dino? Wouldn't it be nice, pal? Do you know what I mean? It would be nice. I think the only way I can make any leap, Dean, to put this together is that kit deal. And if it was with Nike, and if Nike were looking to kind of move a few things together and, you know, push out more shirts, that's the only way I could think about it. Did you see Carragher said we agreed a fee with Mbappe? I think he was taking the piss, to be fair. Connor said Tielemans Tuesday, Timo Thursday. We need a Wednesday. Fekir. I don't know, who have we got for Wednesday? Come on, people, we need a Wednesday name. FekirFriday, Messi Friday. LFC fan, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said Joshua versus Ruiz rematch. Who do you fancy? Touched on it a little bit last night, mate. I fancy Joshua. It looks like it's going to be either in the UK or back in MSG. The important thing I think here is Ruiz has faster hands. We've seen that when Ruiz got on the inside and Joshua tried to finish him off and let go. Ruiz faster hand speed caught Joshua out. He kind of would have to box, I think, like he boxed against Joseph Parker and keep him at range and keep him at the end of his jab. And he will have to work on his defence because Andy Ruiz was overlooked by a lot of people because of his physique. Andy Ruiz is a Mexican and he's a schooled fighter with a lot of pedigree. I think Joshua will win the rematch because quite simply he has to win the rematch, or it's pretty much good night Vienna probably. And I think it will be a points victory for Joshua. I don't see him opening up again and trying to... I mean, I can understand why he tried to finish him because he knocked him down in the third, but fair play to Andrew Ruiz Jr. You got to give the guy nothing but respect. The first Mexican heavyweight champion ever, and no matter what else happens in that gentleman's life, he'll have this. He'll have the rematch against AJ. He'll get a nice payday for that one. And his stock is going to be really high now anyway. And he's going to probably have a fight there maybe for Fury. Maybe a fight against Deontay Wilder. Maybe he rematches Joseph Parker again. There are big fights out there, Dillian White as well. So I'm happy for Andy Ruiz Jr. because he seems like a very, very nice fella. And I like nice people. And I think nice things deserve to happen to nice people. So yeah, I wish him the best whatever happens. I'd love to see 10-minute montage of your crazy times getting mad. Yeah, somebody threatened to... I say threatened. I say threaten like it was a bad thing. Somebody was talking about making one of those before, Corin. Me and Connor can't do it because, quite frankly, we haven't got the time. But it would be funny to watch, and I would watch it. I'd say there has been some crazy stuff, some stupid shit's come out of my mouth as well. That's one thing we can definitely say. Werner Wednesday. It doesn't just roll off the tongue though, Joanne. It works from a letter perspective, but Werner Wednesday. Werner Wednesday. We don't care. Wednesdays, the Champions League games are a given. I mean, Fekir, you've got it there, mate. You're right. Wednesdays, it's all about the Champions League. The body snatcher for the win, said James Sutherland. As in, yes, Dilly and White fighting on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Is Dilly and White fighting on Saturday, or have I got it a month ahead? It's next month, isn't it? Is it Saturday or is it next month, this Dilly and White fight? Sorry, my head's all over the shop, mate. Yes, he is fighting, and I won't be buying it. Put it that way. I'm not paying pay-per-view for that fight. Joshua is an athlete. Ruiz is a brawler, said Stevie Richards. Sessegnon is banking on Spurs. It looks that way, Adam. It looks that way. We spoke about him as well a few weeks ago, and I said the same thing. All things seem to point to Spurs. Mbappe's not good enough for us, said Adam Doherty. I mean, it's all about opinions, I suppose, Adam, but mine would be that he would be, and I'd love him at the club. Unbearable 6 times European champions online, and this is going to get more fucking unbearable, Ronnie. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to stop saying it. 6 times, the number 6. 6 is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to keep talking about it all day on Twitter. I just post up random shit. Just, Klopp says hi. Number 6 is great. Look at this European Cup. It's going to keep coming. I'm not going to stop. What else have we got? When we sign Mbappe, how do you think the opposition fans would react? I like the way you've gone with Jack. With jealousy, with fume, and with everything that you would hope, Jack, I think, if it happened. Are you eating another Mully yogurt? LFC J06. I think now that, this is becoming a routine. I like this, that you're eating Mully yogurts. What one is it? You said it's a Muller corner. Is it a fruit corner? Do you know what I mean? Are we talking the one with the little balls here, the little toffee balls or the little crunchy bits? Craig, what about Markovic Monday? Oh, no thanks. Oh God, no. That lad robbed the living for far too long. Do you watch Sporting Icons boxing channel? Good channel. I'm a mod on there, but he doesn't do too many live streams. I don't actually, John. No, I tend to just watch IFL TV. Sometimes the boxing voice, because I find your man quite funny. And sometimes you just get into that position, John, where you're just clicking through videos and stuff that's being recommended to you, and you watch the videos. Now, I don't even know what channel they are at times, but usually it's Coogan Cassius and IFL TV is my go-to for boxing. If I'm not watching that, then I kind of watch The Breakfast Club. You know those guys from New York, Charlemagne and the guys there. I like that show as well. I like the guests they have on usually, and Charlemagne's cool. I like Charlemagne. Wan-Bissaka Wednesday, but that's more of a Manchester United thing. Looks Mustafi Monday. Oh God, no, God, no. Can we bring back Markovic? Because Spurs were in London, it was reported that he said that, said Mark Anthony Vieira. I believe that Sessegnon said he wants to stay in London, which you can understand. He's a young man. He's from London. Sean O'Donnell, hey Craig, good evening. Have you a preferred player in mind to provide cover for Robertson? I really liked the links to Matt Target, Sean, that came out yesterday. For me, they made sense. He's 23 or 24. We spoke before that when he first broke through with Southampton, he was so highly thought of, and I think he might have even been ahead of Luke Shaw in the pecking order. But then I think Target picked up, I don't want to say ACL, but he picked up an injury that kept him out for I think the guts of a season, and that allowed Luke Shaw to step in, and he took his chance and he progressed, and I think Target's kind of just fallen back since then. I like that idea. I think Jurgen Klopp could, because he still knows he has to develop as well, so him coming in and learning on the Robbo and working with Klopp, to me they were one of the rumours that made sense. Now this Firpo thing, that makes sense. That guy Max Phillip from Augsburg, there's some sense to that one as well, though I haven't seen anything of him, but just people that I'm reading. I just don't, the whole thing about Bertrand at 29 going on 30, it just, for me, it just doesn't feel like a Liverpool thing to do. I wouldn't sell Robbo or Trent for any amount of money or anything. Either would I. Love them both. Jimmy Traore Wednesday. Oh, Champions League winning Jimmy Traore. Have to keep reminding people of that one. Hey Craig, I'm back after a while. Hope you've been doing well. I'm excellent, thank you, Dylan. I hope you're doing well as well. Buenas noches, said Claire Dean. How are we, Claire? What does the letter on the right of the screen read? It said, Dear Killian, remember to hand in the transfer request in the summer. Lots of love, Jurgen XXX. It's a piss take, mate. It's doing the rounds on social media. It wasn't something that me and Connor just made up. Aziz, how are you, my friend? Said, hey Craig, sorry I'm late. Hope everyone's doing well. Please, mate, never feel the need to apologise. It's a pleasure to always see guys come in and say hello, and the time that you guys give up to the stream as well. I'm always blown away. Every night when I come on here, I see the chats ready to go before we come on, and I see people tuning in, and it's amazing. I love it, and I'm always going to be grateful for your time. Wiltshire Wednesday, but that's the physio day, said Adam Phillip. Nice one. I like that. Yeah, do you remember the whole Jack Wilshere thing? He was touted as the saviour of the English midfield, and then he just became basically a full-time hospital patient. Yeah, shame because he was an undoubted talent. Hit the subscribe button, said Stephen Richard. Please do. If you're watching, ladies and gents, there's 424 people or something watching as we speak, which is great. Welcome. I hope you're all having a lovely Thursday. Yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Lots more competitions, by the way, coming up. We're still working through a few details with a couple of bits and pieces because, yeah, we want to give more stuff away because we love giving stuff away. Again, thank you to the 12men.com as well. We did give away those scarves, or we announced the winners of that competition yesterday. So I just want to say another thank you to the 12men.com as well for looking after us with those scarves. Traore wasn't as bad as everybody thinks. He just made a few howlers. Yeah, I'll never forgive him for that one in the FA Cup, mate. That own goal was ridiculous. Klopp's in Mexico. I've seen that, Stephen. Yeah, he's on the beach relaxing. He was in Vegas for his birthday and now he's in Mexico. Why not? He's doing it properly. Dylan Wells said, I'm doing well. Have you seen all the links to Dembele? Yeah, that one's gone quiet actually. We haven't spoken about that one tonight. Thank you, Dylan, for bringing that back up. The Usman Dembele things. Somebody mentioned about Neymar perhaps going to Barcelona, and one of the links that I'd seen was Neymar going to Barca, and then the other way, Dembele, Rakitic and Umtiti, and obviously some cash I think as well, was something that I'd seen. Now, getting 3 players involved in a swap deal, that would take a lot of doing on Barcelona's part. Ousmane Dembele to PSG. Would he go to France and play with PSG? Would he want to go back to France? I don't know. Yeah, I just don't understand the appeal of PSG to anybody other than this. Do you know what I mean? Other than money, I don't understand why anybody would want to go. Even if you are French like Dembele or Mbappe, they're not going to win the Champions League anytime soon. Mark 10, just subscribe. Thank you, buddy. Glad to have you with us. Mr. Murph and the Magic Tones and Blue Lou. That is a long name, but it's a good name. Any news on the next Anfield expansion of the Annie Road end? Potentially another 8,000 added to our capacity. Nothing that I've read since Tom Werner, I think it was, spoke around the time of the Champions League final. The plans have to be, I think we've got the outline planning permission until September, and then we either have to push ahead or they let them lapse. And the talk is that they might let them lapse, you know, because I think they want to revisit and maybe go a little bit further than they plan to do. Now, we do know that anything pushing past 60k is probably going to involve or be a bit of a headache, because you're going to need to increase the infrastructure around. You're going to need to make sure that there's enough public transport links. You're going to have to make sure that the roads and the surrounding areas can cope. You're going to have to obviously take into account the extra noise pollution and the impact on the locals, and a few other bits and pieces that are way above my pay grade. But yeah, there's been a little bit, mate, and I would say the very minimum will get what's in the outline planning permission, but I think they're looking to maybe push it a little bit further. Now, there is some issues as well around the road, so maybe we're going to have to either, I don't know if it's possible to block off the road and reroute, or if you're going to have to maybe put something under the stand, which has been done before. Craig Bellamy's been appointed the Anderlecht under-21 coach. Indeed he has. Which is, I wonder, was that why he was licking Pep Guardiola's arse all year? Because he wanted to stay. Because if you remember on the, what's the thing Sky Sports do at 10 o'clock every night during the season, the debate, he was very pro-Manchester City and very, not anti-Liverpool, but particularly pro-Manchester City. Now, I know, of course, he played for Manchester City, but he also played for Liverpool, and I wonder if he was staying in the good books because he had a little sniff of something might be in the offing down the line. We spoke about the Real Betis under 21 Spanish international. Firpo was an option. Crosby Red. So yes, Crosby Red sent me a couple of things yesterday, and I felt so bad that I forgot about them. Two players that she had heard on a podcast, I think, mentioned and wanted to maybe have a little chat about. And I don't know if any of you guys know of these players, because I don't, if I'm being honest. The first one is Benoit Badiashile from Monaco. Badiashile, maybe that's how you pronounce it. 6'4" in height and an 18-year-old defender. That's one person. And the next one is, oh god, you're really giving me the names here, aren't you? Let's just say Dragowski, because I'm not even going to have an attempt at the first name. 21-year-old goalkeeper that's playing for Empoli, stands at 6'3" tall, holds the Italian record for the most saves in a match and the European record for the most saves per game. So again, I've not heard anything of these players, but Crosby Red sent it in, and I think it's only fair that I put it into the chat and see if anybody knows anything about Badiashile, I think it is, from Monaco, or Dragowski from Empoli. What else we got? Who's the most underrated player in Liverpool in your eyes? Firmino or Gini? I would say Firmino. Firmino usually from opposition fans, but I think they're starting to get the grips of quite how good Bobby is now. Him or Gini for me. I'd like to see the Kenny stand mirror the new main stand, said Jones enough. I don't think they're going to do that, mate. The King Kenny stand, or the old Centenary stand, that was updated in the 90s, I think. Yeah, I can't see them doing that anytime soon, mate, if I'm being honest. There is corporate facilities and that in that stand already, so yeah, maybe a lick and a promise, as I like to say, a little bit of paint and some more padded seats or something, but I couldn't see them doing that anytime soon. O'Sheen said, what's with the note? It's just some funny note, mate, that's doing the rounds on social media. So you can see the image there of Kylian Mbappe with Klopp with his arm around him, and Mbappe has a little piece of paper in his hand. The joke is just that somebody made a bit of fun, said the paper said, "Dear Kylian, remember to hand in a transfer request in the summer. Lots of love, Jurgen." 4 likes, must be United fans, said Mark 10. Look, mate, 4 isn't bad. We'll get to 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 before the day's out. Don't worry about that. What else we got? Some people talking about a comment here. I don't know. I'm just going to skip past it. I'm in too much of a good mood. Jace Roberts is in the house. Jace, how are you, sir? Hope you're keeping well. Hope the family are well. I heard Klopp was trying to clone Milner. Yes. That would I'd be all for that, Fiegel. Another James Milner, yes please. If you're in goal for Empoli, make the most saves. Leakiest defence in Italy, said Happily Eggs. Divock Day, Mark Anthony Vieira. Yeah, we can just give him a whole new day, mate. What day are we getting rid of though? I mean, I don't like Tuesdays, but that's Champions League. Let's get rid of Thursdays. That's Europa League night. We'll just call that Divock Day instead. We'll just call it the Divock Europa League. Donald said the Sir Kenny Dalglish upper stand is where he sits. And do you like it there, mate? Is it okay with you, or do you think row 1 as well? Look at this, row number 1, no less. Salah said Radical Gambino, row number 1. Look at the big dog. I'm jealous, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Billy, my day has been tickety boo, mate. I hope yours has been well. Definitely get rid of Monday. I don't know, quite like Mondays, mate. Monday Night Football, one of the best shows in television with regards to football. Lewis Johnson said, sorry I'm late, just finished work at Chester Zoo. Nice one, mate. I hope the animals are all well. Felix Friday, said Adam Doherty. Surely Saturday has to be Divock Day. Yes, you're right. Saturday light, and I like the way you move. Divock Origi, da 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 dum, dee 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 da dee da da da. Divock Origi. Obviously, I'm no fucking Jamie Webster, folks, but you know what I mean. Bear with me. I'm great, thank you, Jace, mate. All is excellent on my end. I hope you're enjoying life, mate. I hope you're enjoying the nice weather. What's the Bertrand news? Was late. No problem, Billy. Let me just grab through my notes. There's been some links in the media suggesting that Liverpool are looking towards Southampton's 29-year-old left back, Ryan Bertrand, as a possible replacement for Alberto Moreno. I'm on the fence on this one, mate. I can understand the arguments for it. I can understand people that believe he's too old. I'd probably prefer us to go and get a younger player, to be honest, but I do get it. Do I have any animals? I have a dog, mate. I have a little dog called Gizmo. Do you think Wolves will break the top 6 and at whose expense? It depends on the business that they do this summer, Adam. They've got a very good squad, a very good manager, and they know they're well drilled, and their system is very rigid, which can be a good and a bad thing. But I think Leicester are one to watch, definitely. If Leicester can invest well this summer, they've got such a good young squad. I know it does look like they're going to lose Harry Maguire. I don't know. I mean, from a Leicester perspective, that's a big loss, obviously, but they have a good squad, and I still rate Rodgers as a manager. I think he's got some learning to do, particularly in Europe, but I think he's good at coaching the best of the younger players. So Leicester I would class as close to breaking that top 6 as well. Do I love coming on and talking to you all? Yes, mate. It is honestly something I look forward to every single day, is 9:30 and coming on and getting to chat with everybody. And I still feel nervous. It's mad, isn't it? I still, to this day, even though we've been doing this 15 months now, I still feel a little bit nervous every night before I come up. I still have my little routine that I go through before I turn the camera on, and I won't say psych myself up, because I'm not sitting here going, you can do this, you can do this. But I do have a little routine that I go through. Is Klopp waiting for the end of the African Cup of Nations to sign Pepe, or is that even happening? Joe, I honestly haven't got a clue, mate, about the Nicolas Pepe thing. Haven't got a clue what's going on there. Some people said earlier on that they'd seen news on Pepe, and I've yet to see anybody put in the chat to say what it is. Just dreaming of Aubameyang and Mbappe coming to Liverpool. I think Aubameyang at 30 years of age, would we want him? I'm not doubting his quality. Aubameyang is a goal scoring machine, but I don't know. I think I always like to see us look to somebody 24, 25, 26, 27 at a push. I can see Wolves giving Arsenal some competition for 6th, said John Snuff. How about a bank holiday Mane? Yes, David, I'll go with that, mate. Defo, a bank holiday Mane. Nothing like a bit of a bank holiday Mane. Willow said, Craig, can I ask if, and it's a very big if, we ended up with a massive signing, who would you like to be and why? I'll push Mbappe to one side, because I think that's even beyond the big signing. That's like earth-shattering. So I'm probably going to throw something a little bit left field. I've always loved Marco Verratti of PSG. I've loved him since before he went to PSG. Now, I know he has his injury worries, but to me, that kid is he's just an all-around amazing midfield player, and I love him at Liverpool. It's not something I've ever seen linked, nor do I think it would happen, but yeah, for him, I would take Verratti. Who else would I like us to sign? Son from Spurs. I'd bite your hand off if you offered me him as well. I love the Eriksen links that have come out today. Dembele makes sense to me as well. Those Ousmane Dembele links. I know the people were saying that 94 million would be too much, but I don't know. I like Dembele from what I've seen of him. He's still raw and he still makes mistakes, but I think Jurgen Klopp could coach him to another level. Dylan Silent said Dembele or Pepe. I would take Dembele, mate, just because I've seen a lot more of him than Pepe. But I know most people in this chat would probably say Pepe. Do you think we can go unbeaten next season? No, I don't, mate. And you know what? I'd rather finish up at like 98 or 99 points and lose than do the Arsenal invincible thing and get their points total. Yeah, it's just about winning the league. I don't really care if we go unbeaten or if we lose 6 games, as long as we're top of the league at the end of the season. I'd like us to keep our home record going. We're now 2 full seasons unbeaten at home in the Premier League, so it's fair to say that Anfield is a fortress in the Premier League, and I'd like that to keep on going. Domestic Butler said, you can't always buy young players. Look at James Milner and what he's brought to Liverpool. Yeah, Gary McAllister, if we're going back even a little bit further, mate. But I don't see Ryan Bertrand as a similar type of figure to James Milner. I don't see him as a natural leader or somebody that's going to come in and enhance the dressing room with his ability or his... Milner had won the Premier League. Milner had done everything right at the top level except the Champions League. I just don't see Bertrand as the same type of influence. But look, I could be completely wrong. My pleasure, Wendy. Thank you for the question. And who would yours be, Willow? If you could have anybody, who would it be? Bertrand is from Southampton, my favourite team. We need to keep hold of him. No bids will get you him. Mate, Lucy, with all due respect, if there's one thing Liverpool have proven at this point, it's that we can get who we want from Southampton. I'm not trying to be a dick here, Lucy, but look at history speaks for itself. Degsley Lovren, got him. Lallana, got him. Van Dijk, got him. If Liverpool want Ryan Bertrand, which I hope we don't, if I'm being honest, I think we could get him. But I'd prefer us to go and take Matt Target if we're looking at that left back. And I can understand, as a Southampton fan, why you'd want to keep hold of him. He's been very, very good for you. And I absolutely understand where you're coming from. Is there any more news on Timo Werner? Nothing, Joe. Nothing at all, mate, that I've seen. Other than Liverpool aren't interested in Timo Werner, apparently because of how highly Jurgen Klopp rates Ryan Brewster. That's the only story I've seen today. Reina or Alisson? It's too early to say. Tom, Pepe Reina had his highs and his lows at Liverpool. He had some unbelievable seasons, but then towards the end, I don't know if his eye was taken off the ball because of those links to Barcelona. He just wasn't the same player. Maybe after Xavi Valero left, who was his goalkeeping coach originally under Rafael Benitez, when he left, Reina never looked the same player. Alisson's had 1 year and a very good year. A year that's had a couple of errors in it as well, but we wouldn't have won the Champions League without Alisson Becker and that save against Napoli. So it's too early to say, mate, but I'm just proud as fuck that we have had them both at the club. Is Salah staying? Yes, mate. Of course he's staying. I don't think, was that ever in any doubt this summer about Salah staying? If we'd have beaten City at the Etihad, we would have won the league, being Centurions and Invincibles, said Adam Doherty. Yes. I mean, we could say that, mate. Or what might have happened is we would have been 10 points ahead of City. They might have dropped off a bit more, and we mightn't have had to have pushed so hard as we did towards the end of the season to try and eke out those wins. We might have had a bit more room to work with, and we may have not got to 100 points. But either way, we would have probably won the league. That part I totally agree with. Bobby Sanchez Fish Army said, "Hi guys, is there anybody good on the transfer market that's free?" I know Sky Sports did a free 11 at some point on their website. Who's free this summer? That's good. Nobody earth-shattering. I mean, Alberto Moreno was out there for somebody to pick up. But not that I can think of, buddy. Not that I can think of. Don't think Aubameyang played under Klopp. I can't remember, mate, if he did play under Klopp or not. Michael Cole said, "There's a lot of younger players being advertised at the Copa America and the African Cup of Nations. Could be somebody to look at there." What I will say is, I don't believe that any player's performance at the African Cup of Nations or at the Copa America will influence Liverpool's transfer business. I think they will have already had their targets in mind for quite a while. They will have scouted them for many, many, many months. And I'm always worried when somebody has a good tournament and he gets signed. James Rodriguez, good World Cup, didn't live up to the hype. Look what we did with Salif Diao and what's that other gobshide's name that we signed, that spitting prick. What the fuck is his name? Salif Diao and we only spoke about it yesterday. El Hadj Diouf, Salif Diao and El Hadj Diouf. I mean, we signed them after a good World Cup with Senegal and that didn't work out too well. So yeah, I'm always nervous if players are signed after a good tournament. Jace Robert said, "On pure ability, Dembele is another level to Pepe. It's his attitude that's the concern. However, if Klopp wants him, then you'd have to think that he's not worried." Do you think he wants him, Jace? Do you think there's anything to this, mate? Now, I know, like me, mate, you read a lot of articles and a lot of stuff on Twitter. Have you seen anything that will give you any insight into where our transfer wants might actually be? Happily Egg said, "Considering PSG have failed miserably in Europe, you think the value of their players would drop?" Yeah, it is interesting. Like Neymar's 27 now, so technically entering his peak, and he looks like he's on the way out the door. But I did also see the guy that runs PSG talk about getting rid of divas and that whole diva attitude at PSG, and best of luck to him. Rabiot is free, said Lee. Yeah, that's a good shout. He's again been linked to Juventus and United. And the problem for Rabiot there is he's come out now and spoken and name dropped Juventus and United. So he ain't coming to Liverpool. That much I'd say is pretty certain. But Rabiot, it's interesting because he could have signed for a club outside of France since January. I'm interested to see what happens there. I hate when players, when it's all about money with players. You would like to think that there's a bit of romanticism left in the sport and that they would be bought into a project as well. Like Van Dijk coming to Liverpool, for instance. That was just beautiful in so many ways. Jace Roberts said, I think Aubameyang played on the Klopp in his last season at Dortmund. And Sam said Aubameyang did play on the Klopp at BVD. And Jack said the same. Right, what else we got? Rabiot, do you think of him? He's on a free. I didn't think of him until somebody mentioned him there, mate. Massive wages, I'd say. I mean, really big wages. What's this about Mbappe? I'm not going. Somebody tell Mossy because I can't keep reading out that letter. It's torture of myself reading it out. Excuse me, need a drink. It's just torture to me reading it out because it just makes me think. Liz said, I'm back and doctors are a pain in the ass. I like doctors personally. They've been good to me. Is that letter to Mbappe real? No, mate. It's not real. Do you think if that was real it wouldn't be on the front page of every single website related to football? Woodburn Wednesdays. I mean, we're stretching it here, Ray. We're stretching it, mate. Any thought on the rants fight? Rants? I don't know what you mean by rants, mate. Sorry. Do you mean Ruiz? Is that what you're talking about, Red Hook? Yeah, we've spoken about it a few times. It'd be interesting to see where the rematch is. Brian said, that's a myth. Both the Juff and Joe deals were done before the World Cup. It doesn't matter, Brian. You're not allowed to come in and use facts, mate. The facts don't work on social media. It's all about, just throwing out stupid opinions. You should have learned that by now. I know you're new and you're not on Twitter much, Brian, but facts aren't allowed in these debates, mate. We just have to spout random nonsense. That's how this works. Surely you will get that by now, mate. Yeah, you'll learn, Brian. You'll learn. Juventus always seem to go for free players. The domestic butler, yep. And pay them a nice whack of money as well. Obviously, Aaron Ramsey, Emre Can, and now they've been linked, of course, with Adrian Rabiot. Bernadette Farrell said, Craig, instead of going for Southampton players, I'd go for their scout. He's clearly got a good eye. Didn't he move on, though? Hasn't their scout moved a couple of times, actually? I had a final and we got hammered 6-0, said Mossy. Sorry to hear that, mate. You got to the final. There is that one. And hopefully, like Liverpool, mate, that might spur you guys on to next season to not want that feeling again. But at least you were honest. You didn't come in and lie and said, we had a final and we won 12-1. So well in. What's the letter? Right, last time, I promise, this is the last time. It says, Dear Killian, remember to hand in a transfer request in the summer. Lots of love, Jurgen. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Will we make a signing? Yes, Oshin. We'll probably make 2 or 3, buddy. It's just a matter of when. And none of us knows who, if we're being obvious. Who's Rant's expressions brother? Oh, yes, sorry. Rants is in Rants and Bants from the United page. Is he fighting? Is he doing, I don't know, is he doing a charity boxing match or something? I haven't paid much attention, mate. I don't actually follow him on Twitter. I'd just be marked that I would follow. Sorry, I don't know anything about it. I know he's Expression's brother. Yes, of course I know that, but I didn't know he was in a boxing fight. Who's he fighting? Who's he fighting? DT's son, Kieran. Oh, okay. Alright, I don't know where to go with that. I don't want to talk about somebody's son that I don't know as well, because I find that as much as I don't like Mr. Double Initials, I won't talk about a man's family. That's not my place to do so. But either way, I hope both gentlemen come out of it safely. Right, what else have we got? You missed the San Etienne game. Oh, you were talking to somebody else. Rants fighting for mental health and the homeless, which is a beautiful gesture. So well in on that one. Good to see the money's going to a good cause. That's nice to see. What else we got? With the exception of Van Dijk and Alisson, Klopp doesn't buy world-class players. He makes them, said Joe Cullen. We do that as a club, mate. Why the fuck is King Henry going? Bah ha 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 ha, mate. I mean, let us in on the joke, mate. Please do. Do you think Brexit is going to have an effect on our signings? No. The only real way I can see it affecting it. Now, look, I know there's the visa things and stuff as well, but the signings will be made before. I think it's October for Brexit now, if memory serves. Maybe players will want to be paid in euro. That's the only thing I can really see about it. I wish City fans would stop acting like they're our main rivals. Look, I'm just honestly sick to the teeth of Manchester City. They are as irrelevant to me as could fucking possibly be. I don't look at them as rivals. I just look at them as an oil-rich Wigan that are just a pain in the arse. Their fans are obnoxious. A good chunk of them, of course, like any fan base, like we have Low Fat and a couple of other people who do come in and are nice, but a good chunk of the newer fans are assholes. And yeah, let's just go away at this point. Stop trying to mention Liverpool at every opportunity. I don't care about Manchester City. The sooner the better they just fuck off back into insignificance. You picked a fine time to leave Emre Can. We won all biggers when you were gone. Yep, same happened with Michael Owen as well when he left. Have you all noticed the haters have moved to the dark side of the moon because they can't be found? It's good, isn't it, John? And long may they stay there, my friend. Long may they stay there. I'm laughing at the state of the letter. It's not my fucking letter, Mr. Henrik, mate. It's a letter doing the rounds on social media, buddy. I didn't write the letter. My handwriting wouldn't be that neat either. It would be a lot worse than that, I promise you. I remember when we had 2,000 subs, said Jack's page. Yeah, it's a long way, isn't it? We've come a long way, mate, in 14 or 15 months. But please do keep hitting that subscribe button, ladies and gents, if you're enjoying the stream. And, of course, a thumbs up as well. Mbappe, hurry up and sign the contract to Adam Parks. Manchester City don't have fans. Look, I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to discuss them. There's been some news actually from the Premier League around VAR. So the Premier League have confirmed that VAR will not be used to rule on the goalkeeper's position during a penalty being taken. I think there was an incident in the Scottish women's game against Argentina or something, where the penalty was retaken after the goalkeeper apparently moved off the line. So the professional game and match officials, or whatever that stands for, the people that run basically the refereeing side of the Premier League, have come out and said that they won't be in use for penalties in the Premier League. The goalkeeper will be judged by the referee, and that's that. Just a little bit of news that I'd seen pop up that I thought I'd let you guys know about. We spoke about Marco Grujic. I think we've gone through all of my notes anyway. So again, we've got about 20 minutes to go, so I'll put it over to you guys. Anything you want to talk about, put it in the chat. Thoughts on Daniel Dubois? Honestly, Dara, I haven't seen much of him, mate. I haven't seen much of Daniel Dubois fighting, so can't really give an opinion on it. Isn't he fighting soon though? Isn't he fighting? Is it this weekend? I think he's due a fight soon. I remember the pop-ups on the IFL thing, on the IFL channel, saying he's got a fight. Big man Steve, I hope you're well, mate. You said you've been studying. I hope it's gone in, because I know sometimes when I used to study, mate, I would just be looking at words and nothing would be going in. Craig, there's talk Liverpool are after Junior Firpo of Real Betis. Yes, there is indeed, PH. Didn't really know much about him until about 48 hours ago, and it seems like there could be something to it. He's over with Spain in the under-21s Euros at the minute. Somebody mentioned the release clause, but I don't know what that is. But I like to see us linked with young up-and-coming players like that. It makes more sense. Is my background real? No, it's a green screen, mate. It's all done on a green screen. There's a green screen that sits on top of the radiator in my bedroom, and we just used OBS to put the images on. Douglas James Horn said, someone just called me a nonce on Twitter. Mate, a day doesn't go by that I'm not called a nonce somewhere, so I just see it as a step in the right direction. US women won the World Cup because the keeper was way off the line and saved the penalty, said Mark Anthony Vieira. There you go. It's not going to be used in the Premier League with VAR though, that much I can say. Firpo is rubbish, said Callum. I don't want him. It's very, very definitive, Callum, mate. Have you seen much of him for Real Betis? He looks alright from the very little bit I've seen of him playing with Spain, but you know, I have to be honest and say I haven't seen too much of him. Not into boxing, but who's your favourite boxer? Again, are we talking about currently playing as trade or of all time? Currently plying his trade. Well, look, it was Carl Frampton, obviously, for quite a long time. And yeah, I loved Carl Frampton. He's getting towards the end of his career, to be fair. Um, who will be my favourite boxer right now? Callum Smith, I think. Probably Callum Smith. I want to see him get the big fights that he deserves, and I'd love to see him fight at Anfield. Of all time, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. I always enjoyed seeing Prince Nassim Hamed as well. Manny Pacquiao. Look, Floyd Mayweather's the greatest defensive boxer I've ever seen, but the man is just an asshole. But yeah, so many to choose from. Again, that's a whole show though. I want Mbappe and Pepe, said Callum. Good for you, mate. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. Mayweather's my favourite of all time. I've got no time for woman beaters, mate, if I'm being honest. So Mayweather can go fuck himself as far as I'm concerned. Watched Trent Living the Dream Sky documentary yesterday, and watching him and Cara talk about winning the Champions League means and his feelings about the possibility, and cried with joy yet again. It's a good documentary, Chris. I really enjoyed it as well. If you haven't got a chance to watch it, guys, like Chris has said there, I would recommend going to watch it. It's on Sky. Do I like Mike Tyson? As a fighter, yes. Then you look at the stuff around him going to prison for rape and other aspects of his life. But as a fighter in his prime, just on pure boxing ability, yes, but you can't push aside the other stuff as well. My favourite's the Gypsy King, Sir Anthony Cronin. Yeah, again, another man who's had his ups and downs, but is coming through and is doing good things. And you know, he's trying to change, and he's putting a more positive perspective of himself out there, and you got to appreciate that. James Pearce has just announced he's leaving the Echo. Is that really true? Come on. Connor be crying if that was true. Michael Cole said Firpo, good player, and Klopp would make him better. How about Chilwell as backup? He's not going to come to be backup, mate. There's talk of him moving on to like he was linked to Manchester City and a few other people, but he's not going to come in and be backup. He deserves to be more than backup as well. What's a nonce? I'm not answering that, Christine. Sorry. There's it's not my place to talk about that on this stream with younger people watching. I know I curse and I say a lot of stuff and I use bad language, but I'm not going down that road. Sorry. Rocky Marciano was there was a really good documentary actually of Muhammad Ali called What's My Name. It's a two-parter that's been on over the past couple of weeks on, it's either Sky Arts or Sky Atlantic. But if you've got Sky, I would definitely recommend having a watch of it. It's about 3 hours in total, but very, very good insight into Muhammad Ali and his career. Do I watch the WWE? Not anymore, Kirby. I did when I was growing up. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I know it's moving to BT. We touched on that earlier on as well, which is a shame because you do kind of associate it with Sky. What's your opinion on Conor McGregor? I fucking love Conor McGregor, Adam. I've got to be honest, mate. See, as Irish people, at times we're and Irish sports people and stuff have been very polite and kind of happy to be there, and you know, the plucky Irish spirit and all this kind of stuff. And McGregor just doesn't give a fuck, and I love that about it. Look, he's fake as fuck a lot of the time. He's got 2 or 3 different accents that he uses depending on where he is, but as a whole, I love Conor McGregor. I love his attitude. I love what he's done. The man talked his way into fighting Floyd Mayweather and making $100 million. If you can't respect that, then I don't know what to say. Whether you hate him, love him, or he knows how to make a few quid, and he's changed the next 3 generations of his family probably. So yeah, I love McGregor. If I'm being honest, I do. I love him. Reports linked Ziyech yet again today in the Dutch media. I mentioned Sugar Ray Leonard when we were talking about my favourites. Absolutely love Sugar Ray Leonard. Have you ever watched Josh Taylor box? Best talent in the UK. Yes, I have. Don't know if I'd go as far as to say best talent in the UK, but good fighter. And when I say I've watched them, maybe 2 or 3 of his fights max, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good talent coming through in the UK, to be fair. Oh, he is actually leaving. Oh, this is true. He is really leaving. Will still be an LFC correspondent. Doesn't say where. Wow. I mean, Echo. Here I am. Do you know what I mean? If you need a journal, I can't write for shit, but do you know, I'll go to games. I'll sit there and just go on the laptop and I'll say no transfers happening. I can do all that. Definitely, Echo. Hit me up. All I want is a ticket to the games. I don't even want paying. Just seen on Twitter myself. Pierce says he's leaving on July 5th. I wish him, whatever happens, I wish him all the best, because James Pierce is one of the good guys. Really do wish him all the best, whatever he's doing. And it's good to hear he'll still be covering Liverpool, because he's a fan. Anthony said same. I love McGregor. Andy Ruiz looks like Russell from the kids film Up. He looks like that comedian Ralphie something. I can't think of his name. A Mexican comedian. I just can't think of his name, but yeah, he reminds me of him. Sky. I don't think Sky dropped WWE. I think BT just took WWE, but I could be wrong, Adam. I don't really know the ins and outs of it, mate. Piercy's leaving on July the 5th. Again, somebody else said that. Ziyech is a weird one, said Jace Roberts. Release clause relatively low in today's market, yet nobody gone from talented but possibly a bit lightweight. Is there a release clause though, Jace? I'd seen people mention 25 million, but then I'd seen a couple of, is it the Telegraph? Is that the name of the Dutch newspaper? They mentioned 30 million and didn't mention a release clause. But I mean, either way, it's, you know, we're splitting hairs here. It's in and around the same money. There was 2 Sugar Rays, Leonard and Robinson. Well, Robinson was way before my time, mate. Sugar Ray Leonard I think there's been more than 2 Sugar Rays. But yeah, they're the prominent ones. What's the news on Junior Firpo? He's a left back. Just that he'd been linked in... Oh God, I can't remember where it was yesterday. We spoke about it on last night's show. I can't remember the guy's name that linked him to Liverpool. It was him and there was a guy, Max Phillip from Augsburg, with the 2 young left back, or the 2 young defenders that were linked to Liverpool. Is the note real or fake? It is 100% fake, mate. 100% fake. If that was a real note, that would be in every newspaper. WWE is no longer the same, said Philip Lindsay. Yeah, look, I suppose sometimes we just grow out of it, but it's still doing big numbers. Look, there he is. There's Mr. Crosby now. James Pierce is leaving the Echo. I think he's still going to be covering Liverpool though, Connor, by the looks of it, so it's all good, mate. That's the one. Yes, Gabriel Iglesias, or yes, that is the one I was trying to think of, Dave. That is the guy. Fluffy, that's him. You've got it. That's the guy I was trying to think of. He does look like him though, doesn't he? What else have we got? I love Ronaldinho. Said Kirby. Ronaldinho was class. Absolutely class. Craig, the best boxing fight you watched? Not live. I enjoyed Hagler Hearns, Cape Town Muslim, for as long as it lasted. That was an excellent fight. A real slugfest, like, but just an excellent fight. Yeah, probably that one, if I'm being honest. That was class. It's a new player linked to us every day. Don't believe until we sign anybody. I agree with that. What's WWE and it isn't the same anymore? They're losing numbers, said Brad. Wonder when El Jimbo's testimonial will be. I don't know, Connor. I don't know, but he deserves them, doesn't he? Love me some Fluffy, said Liz Golden. I mean, that could be interpreted any number of ways, Liz, but I'm going to take it that you're talking about the comedian. The British Bulldog and the Undertaker tombstone move was class. Yeah, I always think about the tombstone, like, as in, with health and safety, would that be allowed if it hadn't already been his move? I mean, you're going right down on somebody's neck there, do you know what I mean? As fake as it is and all. Well, I say fake. It's very difficult to call a sport where people are getting physically injured fake, but you know what I mean. What's my favourite food and drink? Pizza and Diet Coke, Anthony. The simple, quick answer. Pizza and Diet Coke. When did I start liking boxing and how? My dad was a boxing fan, Kirby, and when I was younger, he used to let me stay up and watch fights, and, you know, memories of Mike Tyson, specifically, when I was a kid. Then Lennox Lewis as I got a little bit older. But I'll never forget the night Mike Tyson lost to James Buster Douglas. Never, ever, ever going to forget that one. I just remember being a young lad in shock at that fight. I loved the way Mike Tyson entered the ring, and there was no fucking fancy robes or any of that shit. It was just t-shirt with the arms cut off and all. And yeah, just even as a heavyweight, he was small, but he was so fucking vicious. So vicious, so raw. Yeah, and then, other things got into his head. Tyson Holyfield, best fight ever. Well, it technically wasn't, but he did bite his ear off, so there is that one. What else we got? Do you think Brock Lesnar ruined WWE? Jesus, I don't know, mate. I haven't got a clue. Yeah, it is a horrible word, Douglas James Horn. I don't even want to say it on here again because somebody asked me what it meant. But yes, it's horrible that you got called that on Twitter, mate. But just brush it off. Just brush it off. It's just a cheaply used phrase that the meaning of it is disgusting. Cherry Coke is the GOAT, said LFC 1892. Cherry Coke should be banned. Oh God, it's just wrong on so many levels. My daughter likes the strawberry Diet Coke as well. I'm just original. Just give me Diet Coke and that's me happy. What's your favourite ever video game? Street Fighter. Definitely Street Fighter. I absolutely love that game. Street Fighter and Virtual Tennis. Or Virtua Tennis. Them two. Probably my two favourite games. Yeah, Tyson has a massive weed farm now. Yeah, he does, Greg. I heard him on Joe Rogan talking about that one as well. What else we got? Apparently someone tweeted that the Glazers out trend is being created by Liverpool fans. Yeah, I mean, there's some weird people, mate, tweeting some weird shit. I mean, who cares? They're United's problem. Let them deal with it. Diet Coke should be banned. Are you going to give me the whole aspartame stuff, mate? Is that where we're going with this? Oh, dog. If you're going to ban Diet Coke, mate, then ban every sweetener that's out there in the world. I don't care if aspartame is bad or if it isn't, mate. I'm going to be drinking Diet Coke until the day I die because I absolutely love this stuff. And I'm sure a lot of the stuff that we consume or breathe in on a daily basis is not doing us much good. Brock Lesnar 100% ruined WWE, said Brad. Tyson was genuinely the baddest man on the planet. Yeah, he was. When I say a savage, I mean that in the most, in the kindest sense of the word. Like, the man was just vicious, fierce. As Brian said, the baddest man on the planet. He was, yeah. I loved his phrase where Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah. No, not a true word was spoken. Everybody had a plan to deal with Tyson until they got punched in the face. Liverpool should sign Pogba and show the mindset to use talent properly. Do you honestly want that dabbing, obnoxious fool at our football club? Not for me. Paul Pogba can fuck right off. I don't want him anywhere near Liverpool Football Club. Him and his ridiculous haircuts, his stupid dances. He's taken too much out of the ball by trying to show that he has upper body strength by holding players off and taking far too long to do it. No, thank you. Not for me, anyway. Hate Neymar as a player, said Kirby. I'm with you, mate. I detest him. I think Neymar is everything that's wrong with modern day football rolled up into one pampered little diva. Jay said, being called all sorts on Twitter, much as I enjoy the platform, it's also a cesspit where faceless idiots can say what they want with little to no comeback. Ignore them, Douglas James Horn. Jace, you know as well, mate. I've had the same treatment on Twitter, and yeah, it's easy at times to hide behind the keyboard and abuse people, but as we say on the channel, Jace, fuck them all, mate. It's good to see that people don't give up, like people like yourself and myself as well, and Mark, and just don't give up. They just get on with it and just don't let these idiots win. Diet Coke is not fizzy enough. Coke Zero is better, said Callum. So many people are talking boxing. It's great, isn't it? It is great, Dara. I'm not gonna lie. I love that a few people bring it up in the chat, and I get to have a little few minutes talking about boxing. They won't ban Coke. The Tories love it too much, said Ollie Richards. Diet Coke commercial. I should be in the Diet Coke commercial, shouldn't I? I should be the Diet Coke man. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, lads. Story on the Diet Coke. So there's an ad right there for you. Do you know what I mean? Under this 6-pack chiseled nonsense, a fat bald Irish man with a lump gone out of his head, strolling in with a can of Diet Coke, sitting down to do a Liverpool stream. There you go. I mean, you're welcome, Diet Coke. What else have we got? Pogba. A lot of people just saying Pogba can piss off, basically, which I like. What's going on with Foden? There was a link, mate, from Don Ballon that said Liverpool plan a £53 million raid on Manchester City for Phil Foden. I mean, have you ever heard such nonsense in all of your life, mate? They must have names and numbers in a hat, and they're just picking them out and throwing them together, throwing them at a whiteboard and seeing what sticks. What else have we got? Do you think we can sign the Ligt? No. It looks like he's chasing the money by the looks of it. If it's PSG, he's gone there for one reason only. I don't care. If he signs for PSG, Mathijs de Ligt, I've lost all respect for him because he's only going there for one reason. It's not to fucking progress his career. Lomachenko is an outstanding fighter, Luke. Absolutely outstanding. The way Anthony Crolla is a good elite fighter. Now he's on the wane, and he was never the very, very, very top, even though he was a world champion. But how basic he made Anthony Crolla look. Lomachenko is stunning. I mean, his dad made him take ballet and stuff as a kid growing up to improve his footwork. And when you look at the training that Lomachenko does as well, he works on his mind a lot as well to keep it fresh. Vasyl Lomachenko is outstanding. It's mad to think that he lost his first pro fight though, isn't it? And then he went and did what he did in such a quick amount of time. Do I like Formula 1? I don't dislike it, but I wouldn't be a massive fan of it. But it's fast cars that make loud engine noises. As a man, pretty much I think it's almost in our DNA at times to like the noise of an engine revving. But it is a good sport, but I wouldn't be a massive follower of it. But sometimes, if there's nothing on a Sunday, I'll stick it on for a while. I think Craig needs to be in an ad for Diet Coke. So do I. Definitely. Diet Coke need to be sponsoring this channel. It's just the right thing to do, Coca-Cola. Do you know what I mean? Get on here. We don't even want much. Just 3 cans of Diet Coke. You can keep the money. Just keep me in the, quality of Coke that I've become accustomed to. And by Coke, I absolutely mean Diet Coke, for those people watching that think I might mean other things. I absolutely mean this stuff here. Right, ladies and gents, I think we will bring this to a close, and hopefully tomorrow when we come on, we have some genuine transfer stuff to talk about because it was so quiet. Maguire to City for 65 million. It's about 20 million quid cheaper than United were being quoted, Mr. Cleaner, for Harry Maguire. And look, City did need to get somebody after Vincent Kompany left. If he's the right player or not, I guess time will tell. Anything else? You notice the difference between Diet Coke and normal Coke? I can't drink normal Coke. If I do, my teeth get all sticky and it just feel weird. Diet Chav haven't offered you a contract yet. Shocking. It is shocking. It's terrible. How dare they not give us a contract? Look, as I said, ladies and gents, again, shout out to Serendipity Furniture. Check them out on Twitter. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram. And if you have a look at the chair and you fancy treating yourself, mention Anfield Agenda to them. You get a £100 discount off the type of chair that we're getting, which I'm so looking forward to. So lots of love to Paul, Beth, and all the guys at Serendipity Furniture. Right, ladies and gents, look, I'll chat to you all tomorrow. Take care of your family. Tell your loved ones that you love them. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up before you head off. Hit that subscribe button as well. And we will talk to you all tomorrow. Up the motherfucking red.